Hi, I'm Ananda. Today I'm gonna give Photoworks a try. Photoworks is an editor that's for Windows, that's version 10. I haven't heard of it before. Um, I saw it on Petapixel, I think, and therefore I've downloaded it to give it a try. It's installed in a little sandbox. There it is. And I'm looking at 3 ORF files, which are Olympus RAW files. I'm not seeing the thumbnail, only the icon, so maybe there's some Windows association that I need to set up. I'm not sure about that, but let's proceed. So if I double click on this, Photoworks Intelligent Photo Editor fires up. And it says we are using a trial version. That's what I'm using. I'm just going to give it a try. Continue. Okay. The regular editing panels now appear, typical of so many of the typical software, photo editing software. And of course they've got a pop-up dialog for the first time you run it, and it's got various information about a new releases and stuff like that. I'll just close on that, and then it comes to a choice. So obviously running automatic like that, it should help people who have no prior experience or no depth of experience with photo editing. So it says processing a raw file, processing a raw photo. That's what I'm doing. It does say EM1. It tells me the aperture, shutter speed, ISO, and the focal length of the lens I'm using. Tells me the size and the date of the process, date of the shot. I've got default, and default looks quite reasonable. This is Mitchell House, an old building in Swanston Street, no, Elizabeth Street, in the city, in Melbourne City. So there's default auto enhancement. So let's give that a try. Let's go auto enhancement. And oh, I see. Waving your cursor and choosing whichever one you want does not update the main view. So basically you've got to make your choices looking at the thumbnails that it offers you. Shall I try auto enhancement and click on apply, and that's roughly what you get, and it's good to go actually. There are people who will adjust shadows, adjust highlights and all that, but as a casual photo, it's reasonable. I don't see any particular tonal or exposure issues or color issues that are a problem. There is a little dialogue saying, do you want to watch a video tutorial? I'm not keen on that, so I'll switch it off. Now I'm in a pickle because there's nothing to do. So the system is good enough as it stands, and it will produce a photo. What does auto correction do? So let me click on auto correction. Oh, auto correction, like the other software, typically applies. Let me go back so that we can see that. The effect. Close that. Yes, sorry about that. So this is quite natural for me, and this is roughly what I would envision the shot would be on the day I shot it. If you hit auto correction, if you look at the histogram, it widens the histogram, and that's what typically auto correction does. increases your output tonal range. That looks more, and it gives it pop. That's lots of people want to have more pop, and it may be satisfactory to at looking at how you prefer your photos. I'll just Control Z and I'll go back to the original. I like that. I think that's how I felt on that day, rather than the super poppy look. So obviously you can adjust contrast, vibrance and all that, and exposure and all that, and it looks like the profile that I've chosen has already been has implemented various tonal corrections. They're not all at 0. Let's have a look at the colors. So that's the color mixer, and that's typical of the color mixers. And luminance, not much change in that. So hue, saturation, luminance, that's HSL. Sharpness, there is no apparently doesn't look like there is sharpening applied. There may be some sharpening that is already there. I'm happy enough with what it is. Let's look at black and white. So black and white is quite pretty, as far as I can see. It does look pretty nice. The tones are varied enough or dispersed enough to give you an attractive look. Let's look at negative. I'm not sure why they give a negative. There may be some concept behind it, so I'll go back to color. There are tools. So that's enhancement, and now there are tools. So tools, they look like there are various categories that you can try. Let's try cropping. So familiar to most people, how to crop a photo. Let me just pull it down a bit, just because I want to. So you can do various crops, free aspect. That means you can change the aspect ratio or keep the aspect ratio or 1:1, and they even give you a Facebook cover photo and stuff like that. So obviously modern choices for iPhone and stuff like that. So there are some modern choices that make it easy for the beginner to choose. You can have a grid overlay of rule of thirds and golden ratio. So yes, there is a grid already there, and you can rotate and all that. I'll cancel. I'm not interested in that, and you can apply, so I'll cancel. Geometry. So the geometry says, and it prompts you with a quick video tutorial. I'm not interested in that. So there's distortion correction, typically of the wide angle pin cushion or barrel distortion, vertical and horizontal and rotation, and you can flip and all that. Just for playing around, I'll play with the vertical correction, and you notice that it stretches up or collapses the vertical perspective. If I double click on the center, it returns to 0. That's a behavior that's pioneered by Adobe Photoshop and Lightroom, I suppose, and many third-party editors haven't achieved that nicety. I don't know whether it's copyrighted or patented, but that's a good thing to have if you play with sliders and double click and it comes back to before you adjusted it. I'll go cancel. Change background. So change background brings me to that Skylum program that is so clever, and the animation and the introduction shows you how you can cut out or knock out, I think the word is, a subject in the center, and then replace the background. and it looks like it's guided. So is this, no, this is just select the background brush. Yes, no, this is just an animation and a diagram. You're not actually doing it because I haven't actually closed the pop-up dialog. You have to close this before you can get to the controls. So if I go next, and there you are. And so I can do that. I'll reserve that for another day or for another video. Cancel. Image overlay. You can do some compositing, which I'm not ready to do, but it obviously there's a feature there. You can do vignetting, and again it likes to show you that you can have a video tutorial. So that's pretty good to introduce someone new to this process. Let's try vignetting, and let's go to the left, and it darkens the picture. And you might like that, but you don't want to overdo it. To the right, and you'll brighten the picture. And I'll double click, and it goes back to the center. That's quite nice. 3D LUT color correction. I was very interested in the 3D LUTs when they were first discussed, and the photo world got engaged with the idea. I haven't actually done any of my own. I haven't done a lot of or any work on that, but the 3D LUT color corrections are available in Photoshop, in Lightroom, I think in Lightroom, and many of the competitor programs. So let's try that. So you have ready-made LUTs. So 3D LUT color corrections, they're more, another term for them is color grading. So we're used to cinematic looking photos from movies where the color is purposely not standard, not accurate. The color is purposely changed to fit the mood. So if I click on nostalgia, I saw some flicker. Let's click on after dusk. So this system shows you the effect on the actual picture, not just the thumbnail, and you can hit apply or cancel. Let's try a few LUTs. The sepia is nice. Yeah, they're quite nice LUTs, and you can create your own custom LUTs. Let's cancel that. Noise reduction. I'm keen on all kinds of AI noise reduction now. There are 3 competitors, well, in addition to the standard ones built into your photo editor. There are 3 competitors now. Topaz, which made the news, and then DxO Deep Prime, which already had a reputation for it, and they hived off their engine so that you didn't have to commit to their photo editing software. You could use the engine in pure raw as a standalone, and now there's on one. So this one also has noise reduction. This is what I would call the built-in noise reduction. There's nothing to noise reduce on this unless you pixel peep. I'm quite happy pixel peeping. So let's have a look at zoom out. I'm not seeing anything. Let's see 1:1. There's 1:1. So obviously when you do noise reduction, you don't do your adjustments zoomed out at normal size. You normally go in right in, typically 1:1 or 100%, and look at how much noise there is and adjust your sliders. There isn't anything to worry about on this one that I can see, so I won't proceed. There's curves, and before that I'll go back to fit. So That's not maximize the window, that's just fit the screen. And you have a curve. It's RGB curve. You can change it to just red, green, or blue, and you can have a preset curve. Let's simply pick a point, and you notice how the tones are changing. Let's pick another point, and that. So yeah, you can go to town with that kind of idea. Click on cancel. So pretty good, pretty nice. Oh dear, I'm starting to think of that TV trailer of the alien. Never mind. Retouch. So retouch, you've got portrait magic, face sculpting, body sculpting, healing brush, red eye removal, clone stamp, patch, adjustment brush, graduated filter, radial filter. So quite a few things to play with. I won't go into them. Click on effects. Photo effects, what is that one? It says hit. I don't know what hit is. Oh, these look like 3D LUTs in a different can. And they are not just LUTs. They are different special effects made for creative use. So for example, if you want to put a fair bit of flare, so you don't have to buy an expensive ultra wide angle lens, you can just whack on the flare like that. Yes, and that resets it or not. It does all kinds of things. So a fair number of special effects that I can see. Sun rays, you can add sun rays. Tone mapping. And let me try. Yes, so you can apply a color cast to it. It's fashionable now to have radial three circles to do that allow you a sort of a radial adjustment. That's become fashionable. It came probably from the movie editing software. So this doesn't have that, but it's quite effective. It's quite effective, and it doesn't look over the top. So, yep, cancel. Grain, if you want to apply grain, not at the moment. And HDR. And you can do some HDR effects. This photograph doesn't actually need it, but if you want to whack it on because it appears nice to you, yeah, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. HDR usually to have the spirit of HDR, not just the special effect of HDR. You need more than one frame. I have to figure out where that is in this software. Cancel. That's the panels. Let's look at text and frames. And you can apply text. You can put stickers. Ooh, no, not for me. And you can apply frames. Yeah, how about that, Rowan? Is that good? No. Cancel. And you can do some batch processing. And you can apply multiple photos and do things like that. Okay, so let's go back to the original. Don't show again. So go back. Oh, I can't go back. Oh, it's click on and click off. So what are these? These are shortcut adjustments. I've lost my photo. I will have to open a photo and pick another one and click on open. It will probably be the same one but at a different exposure. I remember when I shot this. Yes, and I can do that and click on apply. So what does that do? No, yes, there is a hover clue tip, tools tip. So rotate and crop, healing brush, stamp, adjustment brush. So these are localized controlled radial filter, graduated filter, vignette of course, I think, sun rays, text, change the background, portrait magic, and the last one, face sculpting. So the things that you saw that were special effects, they are also shown on this panel. And the commands are also duplicated on the menu, which is not bad. Let's have a look at help, and you have online tutorials, YouTube tutorials, and you can do that. I'm looking for preferences. I spent all my life doing preferences. It was something I picked up when I started doing WordStar 3.3. I'm looking for color space and stuff like that. Let's see whether you can find it with me. So view, no. File, I'm not seeing preferences. Tools, not retouch, not effects, view. What do you want to do? So preferences, no. Options, no. Color space, I'm not saying that. If I try and hit save, what do I get? This feature is unavailable in the full edition. So obviously there may be some things that are suppressed in this trial edition. Hope you enjoyed the tour. Hope it was worthwhile. This software is on discount after being mentioned by Petapixel. It's quite cheap. I'll find the, well, look for it. It's, so I'll just double click it again. Photoworks Intelligent Photo Editor. It's impressive. It's more impressive than I expected it to be for a program that I haven't encountered. Help, would visit the website, and yes, order now. It's the standard is $19. The Pro is $39, and the Ultimate, the lifetime, is $79. I don't know whether the license means the 1 year license means it only works for 1 year, or you only get support for 1 year. Enjoy 12 months of free updates. Free updates to all new versions, auto or manual renewal, you choose. But that kind of pricing is impressive. All right. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.